It is a Sunday afternoon with the sun shining on Dallas Keuchel, as it seems to have been all season long, as the Astros left-hander will take the mound today for the Houston Astros, taking on the Oakland Athletics. The roof is open for the first time since the opening homestand of the year. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum as we welcome you to another edition of Astros Baseball. Blummer, last night, the Astros' 10-game winning streak against the A's went by the boards, but a chance to win the series today.
Really is a chance. You got Dallas Keuchel going out there today, but the A's are playing good baseball. They've got 11 wins on the season. They're in second place.
When you're going for a series win, you're pretty happy when you see number 60 take the mound.
Absolutely, and a good place for him to be right now is on that mound for the Houston Astros. He's been pitching extremely well. The fastball command is back for him, and I think that's the biggest key. We know he threw a lot of fastballs last year. He's not thrown as many this year, but the pitches that he is throwing as far as fastballs are concerned are down in the zone, and you're seeing a lot of those soft contact leading to a lot of ground balls. That ground ball rate over 65.5%, which is third best in all of Major League Baseball. When runners have gotten on base, he's done a good job of getting that ground ball double play to get him out of some damage. Vintage Dallas Keuchel.
He really has. There's another double play you saw previous, and there's Correa wrapping up the complete game in Cleveland. And just like yesterday, we may see runs at a premium today. Why? Because Keuchel, number 3 in ERA, his opponent, Jesse Hahn, number 10 in the American League in earned run average. Last night was a 2-1 A's win. We'll see how it plays out today. We'll have plenty more on this Sunday afternoon. It is a Kids Sunday. We'll be having teaching moments throughout the course of this afternoon's broadcast. Ball on Root Sports is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Dallas Keuchel's road to becoming the Astros' undisputed ace has been paved with Oakland A's hitters. Brett Dolan tells us how he's done it when we come back.
Windy day that feels more like Oakland than Houston, as the Houston Astros and Oakland Athletics wrap up a 3-game series. As the guys mentioned, Dallas Keuchel on the hill today, and he has been outstanding this season, 4-0, coming off a complete game in his last start. We're going to take you back to an outing, though, in April of 2014 in our Kubota pitching matchup that really changed the trajectory of the season series and maybe Dallas Keuchel's career, the way he changed his trajectory on his pitches. Again, this is April 26th of 2014. It was the first of what has been 10 starts for Dallas against these Oakland A's. Astros have gone 8-2 in those starts. His earned run average, 1.84. So you can see the perfect placement on his pitches, a lot of swings and misses, soft contacts, ground ball outs, what Dallas Keuchel has done. And again, Houston had very little success against Oakland in the head-to-head matchup after switching leagues before that outing. In fact, they were just 4-20, but since then, boy, the things have changed dramatically. You can see the numbers, and Dallas has been part of this turnaround where Houston has enjoyed such tremendous success. 34-22 against the A's. They had their 10-game head-to-head winning streak snapped yesterday in a 1-run victory for Oakland. Beautiful day for baseball. We'll see if Dallas can keep those numbers going against these Oakland A's as we send things to the broadcast booth with TK and Blummer.
All right, thank you very much, Brett. It should be interesting to watch how Dallas attacks these Oakland A's. It's been fun to watch Dallas all season long. Both sides very familiar with each other. Dallas appearing for his 14th time against the A's, and Brett talked about that turnaround. Blummer, it's just been one start after the other where Dallas Keuchel goes out and gives A.J. Hinch and his teammates innings.
It's something they've really learned to enjoy, but I think the biggest thing for me in 2017 for Dallas Keuchel is coming out of spring training healthy. We know he was pushed back a little bit in spring. There was concern early on, but here early in the season, I guess you could say, even though we're about a month into it, it's been good to see him healthy. He's got good mechanics. He's been downhill the entire season, which has made his fastball that much better. He's in the strike zone with it. He's fearless coming inside to right-handed hitters, which sets up the outside corner. But he's really doing a fantastic job of working the lower, outer, and inner edges, which is just truly impressive to watch. And knowing that teams have scouting reports on him, tendency charts, and they have the experience like we're seeing with the Oakland Athletics, facing him so many times, they still can't get to him. That tells you that Dallas has great command of his pitches, and he's making adjustments throughout the course of the season when you face these guys. You can't just keep going with the same MO. He mixes it up and throws good changeups, varies that slider every once in a while, and just continues to keep guys off balance for soft contact.
Talked about him working the plate and edges, and he's really lived in that lower third of that plate too.
Yeah, we'll have a chance to see that later in this game with some of the graphics that we have, but the bottom part of the zone is where Dallas Keuchel has lived, and that's where he's going to make all of his money, is staying down in that zone. See some of the numbers in those 5 starts for Dallas Keuchel. Picked out a couple of sabermetric numbers on this Sunday. You see the major league average on the right. FIP is the fielding independent pitching. That basically puts everything on Dallas Keuchel. He's doing a very good job. The average is right around 3.80. The BABIP, that is a ball put in play off of Dallas Keuchel. So when the hitters do put it in play, that takes out the home run out of it. So everything that has been able to be defended has been defended with that average well under 200, which is nice. And the soft contact at 26%, well above that league average. So Dallas Keuchel is in rare form and pushing for another Cy Young season.
And here's the lineup that Dallas Keuchel will face for the Oakland A's this afternoon. Adam Rosales is leading off and playing shortstop, followed by Trevor Plouffe. Ryan Healy is the first baseman, hitting third. Chris Davis in the cleanup spot will play left field. Jed Lowry a day off from defense as he's the DH and hitting fifth. Josh Fegley gets his first start of the series behind the plate. Chad Pinder moves over for Lowry at second base, and Matt Joyce gets a start in right field, followed by Ryan Lamar. This is a Kids Sunday on our Root Sports telecast this afternoon, which means we're going to try and explain the game a little bit more than we would in a normal telecast today. So we'll break down some things along with Jeff Blum. If you have any questions, or if we say anything during the course of the broadcast you'd like further explained, and you are a young fan especially trying to learn the game of baseball, feel free to hit us up on Twitter today too, and we will try and follow along with your requests. Dallas Keuchel on the mound against Jesse Hahn on a Sunday afternoon. Roof was open for the first 6 games of the season. It has not been open since until this afternoon, with a temperature in the mid-60s, 66 degrees, and the wind is blowing in. We're underway on a Sunday with a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Already good energy in this crowd on the first strike. A good ovation for Dallas Keuchel. Why not? Keuchel's corner has enjoyed a lot of success early part of the 2017 season. Pitch down low, it's 1-1. Keuchel has gone at least 7 and into and through the 9th in his last start. At least 7 in all 5 this year. Once again working with Brian McCann, and those two have been on the same page. Dallas 7 innings against Seattle, 7 innings against Kansas City. Said he barely shook off McCann in the first 3 starts, maybe 3 times the total number in the first 3 starts. And he works quickly. It just misses to Rosales, says home plate umpire Hunter Wendelstedt. It's 2-2. Astros wearing their dark blue on this Sunday afternoon. And Dallas Keuchel starts Rosales off with a strikeout. That's how we get underway on this Sunday.
Good slider down and in. We're going to look at some of the more conventional numbers from Dallas Keuchel on the season. That record 4-0. The ERA well under 2. That whip under 1 is where you want to be. Just phenomenal numbers all the way around. And I can't emphasize enough how great that ground ball percentage is for Dallas Keuchel. Staying down in that zone, getting good ground balls, using that defense behind him.
Which is a called strike. Trevor Plouffe takes a pitch on the outside corner. Plouffe coming in batting at 203 on the year. 6th start of the season for Dallas. As we mentioned, he continues to go deep into games. Roy Oswalt is the last Astros pitcher to go at least 7 starts of 7 innings or more, as Dallas has done not only this year with the 5 starts, but going back to last year as well. He's on a run of 7 straight.
Beautiful.
There's a ball into right field, and that's a fair ball, base hit. Getting over there and making the play in time is Josh Reddick, and his throw is not in time. Carlos Correa may want them to look at that as Trevor Plouffe gets in just in time at second base with a double.
Gutsy move by Trevor Plouffe, shooting that ball down the right field line and trying to advance on Josh Reddick. Everybody knows that Josh is a very good right fielder. Good look at that pitch on our MD Anderson strike zone, down and away from Dallas Keuchel. A good pitch, just a better piece of hitting from Trevor Plouffe. And they're going to take a look at it because it was a great throw from Josh, just a little bit offline towards the outfield side, but it looked like Correa got in there. He did miss the tag. Throw was there in time.
So double by Plouffe. Reddick's already thrown out a runner at home plate in this series and also made a tremendous catch in the game Friday night against the Wall. So a one-out double by Plouffe. Here's Ryan Healy. Healy into right field, sends Reddick back, but Josh is there. He'll make the catch on the play. Plouffe will tag and head to third. And he gets there with 2 outs. Mentioned Dallas starting against these A's for the 14th time in his career. 10 consecutive quality starts against Oakland. Brett mentioned that turnaround in 2014. That's when you date back those consecutive quality starts.
It's a pretty good run.
Everything about Dallas has been positive when you look through his numbers this year. As he gets Chris Davis to swing and miss at a breaking ball to start the at-bat, 0-1.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how this matchup goes. Dallas Keuchel's feeling good, and so is this guy, Chris Davis. The other Crush Davis has 10 bombs on the season, tied with Aaron Judge in the American League.
3 of them in this series, 2 on Friday night, 1 last night. All 3 home runs, Blummer, opposite field. He is showing some good power the other way.
Really has. He's got an interesting swing. Just for me, just knowing that he steps in the bucket. Usually when you see guys kind of open that front foot a little bit, try and clear the hips so they can pull the ball, he clears his hips so he can go the other way. Let's be a look at a couple of those homers. Charlie Morton felt that he made some pretty good pitches, but the way Chris Davis is going right now, if he gets a barrel to it, he's going to be able to launch it. But that's what we're seeing right there. Just kind of open it up, drop the head, go the other way with it. Does a good job getting to contact and driving through the baseball. But plenty of opposite field pop.
One-two pitch misses away. It's 2-2. A lot of those pitches and the ones we saw on the spray chart yesterday, seems like he's doing damage on that pitch in and down a little bit.
No, I think that's down and in is exactly where he's doing it. So you saw earlier in this count, Dallas tried to beat him up and in. It was a little out of the zone. He took it for a ball, but that might be the intention.
No chase there, and the count's full. So it was a 1-2 count to Davis, and now the count's 3-2. Just underway on a Sunday with the roof open at Minute Maid Park. Astros trying to defeat the A's in this series. They won the 2 games in a shortened series in Oakland, split the first 2 games this weekend. See the beautiful blue skies beyond the left field wall. And then the Texas Rangers coming to town after this series for 4. 3-2 pitch, a little changeup away, and Chris Davis swings through it. Dallas Keuchel has himself a shutout top half of the first inning. Astros turn to bat. Astros starting lineup presented by Southwest Airlines. George Springer will lead things off for the Astros, followed by Josh Reddick, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa. Brian McCann behind the plate. Yuli Gurriel, the hot-hitting first baseman. Evan Gattis DHs. Marwin Gonzalez gives Alex Bregman a day off at third, and Nori Aoki is the left fielder.
On the mound for the Oakland Athletics will be right-hander Jesse Hahn. See his FIP compared to the Major League average. He's having himself a very good year. Last time out, went 8 innings, did not give up an earned run. Also threw 101 pitches in that 8-inning performance. Fastball 90 to 95, it says. Curveball and a slider, not much of a changeup.
With that big 12-6 curveball that dives down as he deals with George Springer, first batter. And swings at the first pitch, sends it up the middle. Rosales, the shortstop, a high throw. Springer safe. Plummer, it seems like since that hamstring injury, all of the hits for Springer, he's had to beat out running down the line.
Yeah, nothing's been real easy for him. He has had to hustle to get a couple of those knocks. I'm sure he's grateful for it, but I'm even more grateful that the fact that he pops up after running past the bag here and gets back on first. Big swing, you see him shoot out of the box, but that throw well elevated. George hit the bag kind of funny and went down. So it's kind of good to see him pop up. But Rosales never squaring up the shoulders. Leads to that release point. Some guys ducking for cover. Looks good to me.
But that's the scary part.
Yeah, when those guys take that big lunge towards first, that's where things can go a little awry.
Josh Reddick takes a called strike, 0-1. One phrase you mentioned there, as you take a look at Reddick hitting .310 on the year, is squaring up the shoulders as an infielder. On this Kid Sunday, we're going to try and have teaching moments. What's that mean?
If you are on the left side of the diamond, that means shortstop or third base. You want to make sure that you get your lead shoulder pointing to where the direction you want to throw. I know that I've coached my daughters in softball and worked with a lot of kids on their fielding over the years, and the one thing that I always tried to emphasize was getting that lead shoulder. You want to get that lead shoulder. He gets squared up, but he immediately flies open. And when that shoulder flies open, it drags the arm behind it. You want to keep that shoulder pointed at the base and finish towards that base. You don't want to open it up because it leads to some bad mechanics. Ball goes flying, but it happens to the best of them. These guys are in the big leagues, and it still happens.
And that happened to him, a little bit rushed situation.
Yep.
He's trying to hurry the throw and kind of flew open there.
Yeah, but you watch a guy like Carlos Correa, even on guys that burn, he'll square up and make sure he has good throwing mechanics because he has a cannon for an arm, and he can make up for some of that by good velocity.
High pop-up, foul territory. The third baseman makes the play, Trevor Plouffe, and Reddick is retired for the first out.
Jesse Hahn, 3 starts this season. This will be his 4th, obviously. A very good ERA, and that whip again under 1. That some of these Astros have run into some guys who are having some very good Aprils and surprising a lot of people around the league with some of the numbers they're putting up. High school teammate of Matt Harvey in Groton, Connecticut.
The A's have a nice problem. They have an extra guy in the rotation right now with Sonny Gray coming back. They really don't have any room to let somebody go because everybody's been performing pretty well.
Careful, they might trade him away.
I mean, Jesse Hahn didn't even make the team coming out of spring training as he gets a high strike here to Jose Altuve, 0-1. Hahn didn't make the Oakland A's roster coming out of spring training, and here he is. The last 2 starts, he's gone 14 combined innings, only allowed 3 hits and a run. Foul back to the screen, and Hahn ahead 0-2. Altuve, a couple of hits in the game last night, looking for his first career hit against Jesse Hahn. Jose provided the only run of the game with a home run in the 8th inning for Houston. Breaking ball in the dirt, it's 1-2. Sonny Gray's going to pitch on Tuesday for the A's. The A's is giving Sean Manaea an extra delay in the rotation. He gets put on the 10-day DL, but he should be back soon. And at that point, you'll have a decision to make with Gray active and Manaea coming back. And Jesse Hahn trying to keep his spot in the rotation. The way he's pitching, will be hard to move him out. Saw Andrew Triggs last night dealing 7 innings of shutout baseball. That's the one thing about these A's. They're not going to play the best defense, and they might not score the most runs unless they hit a lot of home runs. But their pitching, at least their starters, have kept them in games. Fouled off by Altuve. outside, backs Jose off the plate. It's 2-2. On a 27-year-old. Made Altuve jump out of the way there.
Sounded like Altuve added some sound effects to it too.
When he's ahead, you'll see Hahn go to that curveball a lot more. Even and behind, he is heavy with the fastball. Fastball there. Altuve thought it was a little bit low, and he stands an extra second at home plate. That is strike 3. Altuve thought the first pitch was a ball, and he certainly thought this pitch was a ball.
That was a ball. Even by the Jose Altuve standards, that ball is low.
It's not fair.
It's really not. This game's hard enough as it is. You get an umpire expanding the zone on one of your best hitters. It's not fair. Good look at it on our super mode. That look on Altuve's face pretty much explained everybody else's feelings.
There's a ball ripped into left field, and that's a base hit for Carlos Correa going to the wall. Springer is heading to third. He's going to be sent by Pettis. The relay throw is not in time. Astros take a 1-0 lead.
Good to see that full hitter driving in some runs. We're going to show you a graphic, and then we're going to question why Jesse Hahn came into the kitchen of Carlos Correa. That hot zone down and in is where he has been driving the baseball. Not much plate coverage throughout the course of the season, but well in off the plate. Tells you that Carlos Correa is looking in there, opens up and drives that ball into that left field corner. You can see it off the manual scoreboard, just kind of deadens itself out there. And Gary Pettis decided to send Springer. Nice move.
Good to see George get around the bases too. Again, he's been nursing that hamstring injury, but it looks like he's pretty close to 100% now. And there's his batting average on inside pitches. You just saw top 10 in all of Major League Baseball. His outside pitch batting average is towards the bottom of baseball. The A's have been pitching him very tough in this series, but that may have been a mistake there to give Houston a 1-0 lead. Here's Brian McCann. And we saw as George Springer was coming around second base, as a young player, the first thing you're supposed to do is not watch the baseballs, look for your third base coach.
Look at your third base coach. Don't hesitate. Don't try and make the decision on your own. Put it in the third base coach's hands.
In the dirt, Begley with the block.
That's George. He knows that's a base hit off the bat. He puts his head down and looks up for Gary Pettis, and you see Gary Pettis making the decision early. And you know what makes it easy on the third base coach to waive George Springer in that situation? Is he didn't hesitate, and he was running 100% the entire time. That makes the decision that much easier.
That's something all third base coaches hope for, is their players always running hard to give them the ability to send them home on a ball in the corner like that. 1-1 to McCann. On the ground, up the middle, stopped by the second baseman Pinder. He keeps it on the infield, which saves a run. Correa has to stop at third, but McCann has an infield hit.
Guess we can call that a seeing eye hit for Brian McCann, hitting against the shift. Getting out and around a fastball, but good job by Pinder keeping that ball in the infield. It doesn't allow Correa to score, and it also keeps that possible force out at second base intact. Pinder ranging far to his right. If he catches that clean, he might have a shot at McCann.
And here's Yuli Gurriel. Springer a double, McCann an infield hit. Pinder doing a nice job saving his pitcher a run, at least for the time being, with knocking that infield hit down by McCann. Gurriel coming in batting .342 on the year. Sends one in the air to left field, pretty well hit. Chris Davis is giving way to Ryan Lamar, and he will make the catch. for the final out of the inning. George Springer scores from first on a double by Carlos Correa. The Astros out in front, 1-0.
Todd and Jeff.
All right, thank you very much. Kids Sunday, second inning baseball, Minute Maid Park. Astros jumping out 1-0 in the bottom half of the first inning with an RBI double by Carlos Correa as we head to the second inning. On this Kids Sunday, Jed Lowry has done the nice task of wearing a Little League style helmet for us. Oh, that's what he does every game.
The great Gazoo.
He and Nori Aoki go with the double flaps.
The double flappers.
Makes it easy. You don't have to remember which helmet to grab if you're a switch hitter like Jed Lowry. In Aoki's case, I don't know if we've ever gotten to the bottom of that. Why Nori, who's just a lefty hitter.
I think somebody sent me a video of him getting smoked by a catcher's throw on the backside. So that's why he wears the flap, just in case that ever happens again.
That's kind of crazy.
That is crazy. That's bad timing, bad placement.
0-1 pitch to Lowry is inside for a ball, 1-1. Jed Lowry has faced Dallas Keuchel a bunch in his career. In fact, only Adrian Beltre and Mike Trout have more career hits against Dallas Keuchel than Jed Lowry. He has 11 in 32 at bats. Swings and fouls went off Brian McCann, 1-2. Watch Brian McCann behind the plate. Most young players do not necessarily want to be a catcher right away. But if you can hit and you can catch, like Brian McCann.
Plan on being around a while.
Swing and a miss. Keuchel gets Jed Lowry, third strikeout of the game, and the first out in the second inning.
Good job moving the slider down in the zone. He also takes a little bit of velocity off there, just kind of dangles the carrot out in front of Jed Lowry. See a good view of it on our Mattress Firm Supermo. Taking that little bit of velocity off, you can anticipate break, but if you take a little bit of that velocity off, you see how early he swings in front.
Here's Josh Begley, a little squib shot off the end of the bat. Gurriel will flip to his pitcher. Keuchel covering, and he gets the out for the second out. Good example for kids on pitching fielding practice.
Dallas Keuchel moves well out of his position. You see after the release. What's great, watch Dallas. There's no panic in him whatsoever. He picked up the bag early and then took a look back at Yuli. Make sure he made a good reception. How about the feed from Yuli? Right in stride as Dallas Keuchel is on the bag.
That was one where Dallas actually had to take his eye off the ball because he knew it was going to be a close play and he had to find the bag.
It was a tough angle.
2 outs, nobody on. Here is Chad Pinder. Pinder takes a called strike, 0-1.
Pinder better not be questioning that call because that was much higher than the one they called on Altuve.
I think Jose is still a little bit upset about that. The pitch was on Altuve somewhere around mid-shin. Called a strike. Pitch is away, 1-1. That will be one of the lowest pitches you will see called a strike all year in baseball.
Ever. Considering who was at the plate.
And Keuchel ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Popular plays, Keuchel's Corner. Final start in the month of April, on the final day of April. Dallas is trying to match Roger Clemens for the most franchise wins in the month. Rocket had 5 in the 2004 season. In the air, pretty well hit to left center field. Aoki is closing though, and Nori gets there for the final out of the inning. So a 1-2-3 second for Dallas Keuchel.
Pro poll. What have we got for you today? Which series at Minute Maid Park are you most looking forward to? Red Sox in June, the Yankees finish off June, head into July, or anytime the Rangers are in town. Some tough calls right there. Yankees are very good this season.
They're playing great baseball in the month of April as Evan Gattis will lead things off for the Astros in the second inning. sends one into right field, but back there is Joyce, and Matt makes the play for the first out. Astros with 3 hits in the first inning against Jesse Hahn. That's the most hits Hahn's allowed in any of his last 3 starts. Now just 1 hit in 8 innings against the Angels. 2 hits in 6 innings against the Texas Rangers. Marwin Gonzalez digs in. Mentioned the Yankees, Blummer. 15-7 New York is so far this year. They're on a 4-game winning streak. 15-7 is the best record in the American League. Slightly better than the Astros' 15-9 mark. On the ground towards short, slowly hit. Rosales with a nice play. And there's 2 away.
That big kid, Aaron Judge Dredd, getting after it early in April, too. A lot of home runs, a lot of RBIs. Girardi's got those young kids playing well.
Baby Bombers are calling them. Judge with 10 home runs. Yankees are 10-1 at home. Astros will see the Yankees in New York a couple of series from now.
Don't even have Gary Sanchez in the lineup, and they're still doing it.
How about that? Astros, after this homestand, will head to Anaheim for a weekend series against the Angels. Then back home for a quick 2-gamer with the National League side, the Atlanta Braves, and then on to New York to take on the Yankees. Noriaoki with a count of 0-1. AJ Hinch was joking before the game about how he told Aoki yesterday, take the whole day off. You're playing a lot. You might get a late pinch hit in the 8th or 9th inning, but take the whole day off. And he said midway through the game he saw Aoki hitting off the tee. He said, I thought I told you to take the whole day off. And Aoki said, yeah, it's almost the 5th inning. This is kind of like a day off for me. So his normal work ethic is a little different. The number of swings he takes compared to a lot of players in Major League Baseball. Tries to hold up, but he went around. Jesse Hahn with that big breaking ball ahead of the count gets Noriaoki swinging. 2 strikeouts for Hahn and a 1-2-3 inning for the 8th righty.
Spray chart. Dallas Keuchel facing lefties this season. You can see why he doesn't face many lefties. They're hitting .089, I believe, off him. Only 25 plate appearances against Dallas Keuchel. 2 hits in those opportunities. But he is very tough on righties and lefties. And the interesting thing about starting pitchers is you kind of take those matchups out of the equation, but you really take them out when you're facing Dallas Keuchel. He is so nasty on those left-handers.
Quite a spray chart.
Yeah, not much to see there, huh?
Something more of like a connect the dots. 2 hits all year long against Keuchel. One of them a home run by a lefty. And he gets a swing and a miss on Matt Joyce. 0-1. That home run was in his last start. Michael Brantley hit a home run in the 9th inning. With Dallas leading 4-1. Keuchel would go on to finish that inning and pick up a complete game. Ground ball foul, and he's ahead of Joyce 0-2.
On that big breaking ball too, and that was also earlier in that game. Kipnis hit that big breaking ball almost out to center field when Josh Reddick made that great play on it.
Reddick saved a home run against the lefty for sure in that same start. Swing and a miss. Keuchel, 3 pitches to get Matt Joyce, 1 out in the 3rd. Well, we are getting some Twitter questions about different topics on this Kids Sunday, and Plumber Robert wants to know best age to introduce pitching to a child.
I think right around 9 or 10 would be a good time, and I think that's when you see most of these little leagues too, allowing them to pitch to hitters. Just don't want to do it too early and blow that arm out or teach bad mechanics. You want them to be a little bit older, a little bit stronger, more developed, and just be able to create good mechanics at that 9-10-year-old age, something they can grow with and maintain throughout the course of their career. Something easy and repeatable.
See Ryan Lamar acquired a week ago at the plate, 0-1. Keuchel has retired 6 in a row after a double by Trevor Plouffe. Chopper, and Keuchel very strong defensively, gets off the mound in a hurry, and he gets Lamar for the second out. What makes Dallas so good, and what kids can learn from watching him defensively?
Well, if you want to protect your ERA, you get in a good fielding position like Dallas Keuchel does. I think some guys take that for granted. When they release that baseball, they are the 9th fielder, and Dallas Keuchel does a very good job. When he finishes his pitch to home plate, he is squared up like an infielder towards the hitter. So he's ready to knock down line drives up the middle, and he's also ready to bounce off the mound and go make plays like you just saw.
Yeah, so quick with that ability to field and get off the mound in a hurry like he just did. We saw him the first start make 2 plays on bunts that are as good a plays as you can see a pitcher make all year.
I couldn't agree more.
3 consecutive Gold Gloves, and when he gets the ball on the ground like he has throughout his career, and especially this year, you know you better be ready as that 5th infielder. This one's over his head. He thought about making the jump, but instead he lets Correa take the play, and Dallas has another strong inning. He's now retired 8 in a row. 7 pitches needed in the 3rd. Half of inning 3. Every Wednesday night home game at Minute Maid Park is $1 Hot Dog Wednesday. That's right, Dollar Dog Night. Annihilate all the dollar dogs you can eat while watching the Astros and the Rangers this Wednesday, May the 3rd. Visit astros.com/dollardogs or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Limit 4 per person. But then you can go back again. I guess just 4 at a time. They're not going to.
No, bring your beard. Bring your Keuchel beard and go disguised. Multiple visits.
Good boy. Charlie Morton will be on the mound for that Dollar Dog Wednesday night. Pitch misses inside to George Springer. Has to jump out of the way. It's 1-0. Still uncertain as to who will pitch that game for Texas. They're trying to figure out how to work A.J. Griffin back in there. I think Martinez could be a possibility. Check swing by Springer, and it's 1-1. We could see Yu Darvish too. He was scheduled to pitch that game Thursday, but he also threw 120 pitches in a start yesterday, so they could pitch Griffin and Martinez and move Darvish back to the series after the Astros. 1-1 pitch is away. It's 2-1. Springer, an infield hit his first time up, came around to score the game's only run. Astros 3 hits in the first inning, including a couple of infield hits. Foul at the plate. It's 2-2. Turns out to be a beautiful sun-filled afternoon here at Minute Maid Park. Very comfortable temperatures. Probably rather be in the sun today than the shade.
Yeah, no doubt. Absorb some of those rays and some of that warmth.
Wind was blowing in a little stronger when we started the game. Flag's not doing much now as George Springer has a 3-2 count. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts for Hahn. Springer the first out in the 3rd. Brett?
Hey guys, it is Little League Day and Kids Day. We have William. He's 8 years old from the Sienna Plantation Little League in Missouri City, and he has a question for Blummer. Go ahead, William.
Blummer, what advice do you have for a baseball player that doesn't have a specific position and is only a so-so hitter?
He wanted to know, Blummer. So we just thought you might be the guy to ask.
It's interesting, Brett. Considering you can make a 14-year career out of it, I highly recommend it.
Good news, William. He says that you can play for like 10 plus years in the big leagues and maybe get into broadcasting afterwards. Does that sound like a good idea?
Thank you.
I appreciate you, William.
Who are his buddies over there? We got to get them some
What's your name?
time too.
Ramy Evans.
All right, what's your name?
Jaden Lee.
All right, 8 years old from Missouri City, the Sienna Plantation Little League guys. Having a good time today?
Yes, sir.
All right, tell Blummer it was all in good fun. No, it wasn't, was it?
Not from William.
You meant it. All right. That's all I got, guys.
We have a swing and a miss, a little foul tip there as Reddick goes down swinging. So 2 strikeouts in the inning, and Josh Reddick retired. 4 strikeouts in the game for Jesse Hahn. Kids Sunday. A lot of little leaguers on hand today at Minute Maid Park, walking on the field before the game. Here's Jose Altuve. Altuve taking a called strike, 0-1. And on ahead, 0-2. Well, Jesse's starting to work into a rhythm here. He's retired 6 in a row. Only 1 pitch away from striking out the side. Altuve gets a little piece and stays alive. Astros scoring 9 here on Friday in a 9-4 victory. Altuve provided the only run last night in a 2-1 loss. And tonight, Houston leading 1-0 bottom half of the third. Altuve spoils another good breaking ball. Fastball just missed. It's 1-2. Hahn last year 4 separate stints with the A's. 9 starts, went 2-4 and an ERA above 6. Breaking ball up the middle. Over to make the play is Pinder, but with Altuve's speed, no chance. Jose Altuve beats it out for an infield hit.
Speed doesn't slump. Jose Altuve didn't want to be that third punch out in this inning. Does a good job of just getting it past Jesse Hahn. And once it gets past Jesse Hahn up the middle, it's pretty much a knock for Jose Altuve. I know Pinder juggled it a little bit, but really no shot to get the speedy Jose Altuve. And on this Kids Sunday, I want you to watch Jose Altuve play the game because he is always running through the bag no matter what.
That time, he was barely off the bag.
Running hard puts pressure on the defense. There's nothing more uncomfortable as an infielder watching a guy run as hard as he possibly can every time the ball's put in play.
Strike to Carlos Correa, 0-1. Correa doubled in the first. The game's only run, scoring George Springer from first. With Altuve on the bases and 2 outs. Double could score another run. Pitch misses. 1-1.
Take a look at that first swing from Carlos Correa, bringing the hands in nicely and just dropping the head on it. Good bat path. Even with bringing the hands in, getting the barrel through it and getting to that contact point and really driving through the baseball still creates pop, even though you didn't see him get full extension.
This ball's hit deep to left field, all the way back to the walls. Davis, and he will make the play in front of the bullpen.
Roof open. Wonder if that has any effect on the baseball flying out of here. I thought Carlos Correa got himself one.
Correa sends one deep to left, but it's a long out.
The joy, I love it.
Good job by those kids, the rookie Phillies. Lamar Little League in Richmond. 5-year-olds who still have the coaches pitch to them as they learn the game of baseball. This is a Kids Sunday as we start the 4th inning, and Trevor Plouffe, who has the only hit against Dallas Keuchel, leads off and takes a called strike, 0-1. Plummer, we were talking in between innings. That ball off the bat of Carlos Correa a lot of times could be out of the ballpark in a lot of stadiums.
Yeah, I think the wind may have knocked that down with this roof being open. It has been windy in the last couple days, and the only reason I say that is, you know, we have analytics. My eyes are telling me that he drove this baseball. An elevated fastball, you see that driving through it, back legging it because he's leaning back on it is what we call it. But just in watching it off the bat, it looked like it was going, but the numbers that we're seeing on baseballsavant.com are saying that 105.5 miles an hour off the bat and a 34-degree launch angle. The hit probability on Carlos Correa's hit that stayed in the ballpark for an out, 83% of the time that's a hit. So that's the one thing that makes me question whether or not that ball gets out with the roof closed and there's nothing pushing it back.
Yeah, that should be a home run a lot of times. Unfortunately for Carlos, that's the way things have gone for him. Although he does have an RBI double in this game. Trevor Plouffe with a line out to Springer, who made a nice sliding catch. 1 out in the 4th. Ryan Healy, the batter, he lined out to right his first time up. Keuchel has retired 9 in a row, gets the sign from McCann and delivers, and that's a changeup that Healy misses. Keuchel, we're talking about pitchers getting in a good rhythm. That kind of helps your defense out too when you know when to anticipate that your pitcher's going at a good pace.
Yeah, Dallas Keuchel being a high ground ball guy that we keep harping on is definitely beneficial to the guys playing defense behind him. You know that you have to be ready for every pitch. He's pitching to contact, which means that you have to be ready. If you're not ready and on your heels, one of these ground balls could eat you up. And these are the guys that you want to play behind. Those guys that are a yard sale and go to 3-2 counts every hitter kind of wear on you a little bit. Got to work on your time of possession. Dallas Keuchel does a good job with that.
So remember, kids, especially kids that pitch, don't be a yard sale.
No yard sales. Yard sales are bad. Here's a look at Dallas Keuchel's heat map. Fastballs to righties this season, and my goodness, he is not keeping anything up in this part of the zone. That is so great. You see the red dots in the middle of that thunderstorm, down in the zone, in and out. Nothing in the middle part of the plate. That is beautiful.
That is a thing of beauty.
That is gorgeous.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, down in the zone, Blummer. Breaking ball gets Healy, strikeout number 4.
Check out that strike zone on this at-bat against Ryan Healy. Down in the zone, off the edges, creates chase, has movement. Looks hittable on the way in. Then that last-minute break, swing over the top.
That is a guy that continues to hit his spots and misses with that pitch. 1-0. That's the first time Keuchel has not started out a hitter with a strike tonight.
Incredible.
This afternoon. 12 of 13 first pitch strikes. And now a strike to Davis, 1-1.
Doing a good job of changing speeds on Chris Davis.
Misses there, it's 2-1. A's have scored 6 runs in this series. All the runs they have scored have been on home runs. 5 of the 6 runs have been driven in on home runs by Chris Davis. Missed inside, 3-1. Again, Dallas isn't necessarily missing where McCann wants that pitch. He was just hoping for a chase there. McCann set up way inside off the plate. If you're at home, you can watch along with McCann setting up low and away. And Dallas did miss with that pitch. That should be ball 4. Davis is so hot he wants to keep hitting.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go anywhere. The J.J. Watt Charity Classic is back at Minute Maid Park on Saturday, May 13th. The 5th annual event features a home run derby, followed by a softball game featuring the Houston Texans. All proceeds from the event will benefit the J.J. Watt Foundation. Visit Astros.com/JJ Watt for tickets and information.
Is there anything he can't do?
We haven't figured it out yet.
Throws that little cutter for a strike on the first pitch. Hits the ball off the top of the Crawford boxes.
He's probably a consistent 225 in bowling.
Probably.
Yeah.
Play offense, defensive player of the year 3 times. Fun to have him in the booth in last night's game. On the ground, Gurriel on 1 hop. Jed Lowry retired. Dallas Keuchel a 2-out walk, and that's it. Through 3.5, 1-0 Stros. A Shiner Light Blonde spotlight falls on Brian McCann, 7-time All-Star, 6-time a Silver Slugger, only player in Major League Baseball with 9 consecutive seasons of 20 home runs or more. And the McCann Merlot came out with all the proceeds supporting the Raleigh Foundation for Childhood Cancer Research. All around, great guy, great player. McCann happy to be an Astro, and people here in Houston very happy to have him as he will lead things off in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Astros leading 1-0. McCann, Yuli Gurriel, and Evan Gattis. Facing Jesse Hahn, who's allowed 4 hits, but 3 of them have been infield hits. Only a Carlos Correa double to the wall in left field has left the infield off of Hahn on a base hit. McCann takes a fastball away, 1-0. We talked earlier about the right age for kids to start pitching, and you talked about right around 9 or 10. And another important part of that is you don't want kids at a young age to throw breaking balls. And we saw the Keuchel changeup. Fastball changeup's pretty effective. And until you grow a little older, you don't want to mess around too much with breaking balls.
You just start messing with tendons that are still growing, and I think that's the developmental issue that's happening to some young arms. You're so concerned about getting outs and impressing everybody at such a young age that you start creating curveballs when nobody remembers what you did when you were 10, 11, 12. You want to stay healthy into high school, pitch well enough to get a college scholarship, and eventually head on into the professional ranks.
You know, Jesse Hahn's a really good example of that. He attended Virginia Tech, but here's a guy who was drafted as McCann sends a 3-1 pitch to center field deep, but Lamar gets back on it and makes the play. And the way he made that play, Blummer, I think you might be onto something with the wind blowing in.
It's too bad because we've seen some balls hit hard. Jesse Hahn benefiting to the ball being knocked down a little bit with the wind swirling inside Minute Maid Park this afternoon. But we're seeing outfielders react to ball off the bat and swing. And Lamar headed straight back. He thought this ball was going to be deeper than it was, and you see him stop and almost Willie Mays Hayes it right here because he overran it.
Now breaking ball hits Yuli Gurriel. Yuli hit with the first pitch, and he's a 1-out base runner.
Dallas Keuchel's changeup, he throws that circle change, actually holds it pretty loose in that hand, but it's almost a split grip in between the middle finger and that ring finger as he comes through. And he throws it just like the fastball, and that's what Todd's hinting at, is that changeup, if you hold it the right way and have the same arm action as you do on your fastball, you're not going to create the stress, and you're going to be able to repeat that motion.
We saw from Mike Stanton in the pregame show there are different ways to throw the changeup. And the pitch gets away. Gurriel, after he is hit by a pitch, advances to second. Thought about third for a minute. Holds up on the wild pitch. And one of the challenges for kids in throwing that changeup is your hand's not really big enough at times to throw certain styles of changeup, but there's different ways to do that.
There are different ways to do that. I unfortunately didn't have a chance to see what Mike Stanton was doing, but I remember there was a kid in our Little League team that would throw a two-seam fastball, threw pretty hard. The way he took velocity off, 5-finger changeup. Just put the entire hand around the baseball and threw it as hard as he could, and it just took a little bit of velocity off.
Good stuff. Kids Sunday learning at home along with us on this broadcast as Yuli Gurriel was hit by a pitch and then advances to second on a wild pitch. Evan Gattis with a count of 1-0. So both the Carlos Correa swing and the Brian McCann swing a lot of times would have been potential home runs or at least extra bases.
Yeah, it's even greater probability on Brian McCann's baseball. It jumped to 85% in the hit probability.
So we've seen guys retired on an 83% and 85% hit probability.
And it could, you know, in a perfect world, you say yank it down to each line and then you don't have to worry about it. But I don't want to encourage guys to try and hook the ball. I thought Brian McCann scored that ball up nicely. It was 104 miles an hour off the bat.
Went for a long out to start this inning, but now the Astros with a runner in scoring position and a 2-1 count on Evan Gattis. A lot of kids emulate their favorite players, and most players wear batting gloves. Hopefully there's some kids out there that still don't mind emulating a guy like Evan Gattis and just go right up there with the bat.
Hey, keep it simple.
Bare hands. Strong hands of Evan Gattis right there. No pine tar. Away, it's 3-1.
Be a good look, freeze the contact, and that is textbook. You know what I love too is that strong front side that he has right there with that front side close. That means the hips are coming up against that front side, getting all the energy into that baseball.
That looks beautiful.
That is gorgeous.
Somehow that was an out. That swing more often than not is going to result in some home runs though. 3-1 now to Gattis. Evan calls time.
Good lag on that barrel, and then the top hand brings it through with the power.
Gattis will hook one towards left field, and this one is off the top of the wall in play, says Joe West. Scoring is Gurriel, double for Gattis. We may get a review on that as it looked like it was close to being over that yellow line on the wall. For now, it's a 2-0 lead as Gattis with an RBI double.
Nice piece of hitting. And we talked about sometimes you got to be able to redirect the baseball in the right spot, and picking the Crawford boxes here at Minute Maid Park is the right thing to do. Hands were back, the lower half is just gone, but he is strong enough to go out and get around this pitch and launch it well up off that wall in left field. Good look at it here.
A.J. Hinch at the end of his 30 seconds has to make a decision, and he's going to go all the way out to Joe West.
Coming right into your living room. Still got the barrel on it too, which was nice. And considering the ballpark, the hit probability on that ball was 23%, but here at Minute Maid Park, your averages go up because of that Crawford box.
So 83, 85 out, 23%, nearly a home run.
Yes.
They're going to have Joe West look at this along with the home plate umpire Hunter Wendelstedt.
From our vantage point, it doesn't look like it went over that yellow line.
AJ had to make a quick call. He was still waffling at the 30-second mark, so he decided to just give it a shot here.
And it is a tough call. There's a couple of different angles we have to work with.
Fans did a good job of not interfering with it.
They did. It's a good point.
I think this one's going to change. I think Joe West made a good call on that. Well, they quickly take off the headsets, which means more than likely Gattis will stay at second, and that's the case. So it goes as an RBI double for Evan. 14 RBIs on the year now. That matches George Springer. That's a cool look right there.
It's a very good look.
You saw the flags not blowing much in the breeze in that second inning, but it has picked up again here as the game's continued. And it is obvious based on watching Carlos Correa and Brian McCann last at bats that the wind is significantly blowing in from center field as Marwin Gonzalez takes a pitch away for a ball, 1-0. Gonzalez grounded out his first time up. Pitch may have caught that corner instead. It's actually 0-1. A couple of RBI doubles in this game. Astros leading it 2-0. RBI double by Carlos Correa in the first. RBI double by Evan Gattis in the fourth. And Marwin down in the count, 0-2. That's a called strike. A strikeout number 5 for Jesse Hahn. 2 outs in the fourth.
It's a pretty good sequence from Jesse Hahn. Well located down and in.
I'll bring up Norichika Aoki getting a start in left field today. Nori struck out his first time up. Saw Nori strike out a couple of times in his last start. That's unusual. He's now struck out 3 times in this series. And he sends one towards short. Rosales comes in and he'll have to hurry, and he beats Aoki down the line for the final out of the inning. But a hit batter and an RBI double by Evan Gattis. Astros lead 2-0. Dallas Keuchel continues to have a very impressive 2017 season. Keuchel today has not allowed a hit since the first inning. Only 1 hit, 1 walk allowed. He is retired 11 of the last 12 batters he has faced, and Dallas rolls into the 5th inning with a 2-0 lead. Only 45 pitches needed in the first 4 innings. He has struck out 5. He has also retired 4 on ground ball outs. 9 of the 12 outs. Strikeouts are on the ground. He'll face Josh Phegley, Chad Pinder, Matt Joyce here in the 5th inning. He starts Pinder off with a pitch away for a ball, 1-0. Dallas had 12 first pitch strikes, the first 12 batters he faced. Flare into right. Josh Reddick is there, 1 away. Today's Fan Cam is presented by GulloAuto.com. Fans wearing the Dallas Keuchel jerseys over in Keuchel's corner. A lot of those kids before the game got a chance to walk around the field.
Is that William?
Same group, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
That was them before the game, and we saw them in game. It's for William and his buddies out of Missouri City. What's the key if you're a fielder, especially on the infield, getting ready as the pitch comes home? Defensive positioning, especially, you know, you're hoping you get a guy like Dallas Keuchel who's around the zone.
Yeah, you're going to anticipate. You want to have some momentum going into the pitch. And when you talk about getting ready, you're anticipating ball in the contact zone, not in the catcher's glove. So the contact zone is about maybe 6-7 inches out in front of home plate. You're anticipating contact. That's another thing. You want to anticipate contact. Is the second you don't, the ball's going to be hit at you and find you. But you want to be on the balls of your feet. Some guys are even airborne before the ball is hit. But in doing so, they want to be able to make that good, quick reaction with that first step. That's how they develop that first step quickness. Guys on the corner like Yuli Gurriel, Alex Bregman, Marwin Gonzalez might be a little more stationary and just kind of get up on the toes a little bit. That's something I did at third base because I felt that my timing had to be a little bit quicker with the ball off the bat. At shortstop, you can walk into it, they call it.
Swing and a miss. It's right in front of Brian McCann, who will have to make the play down.
But the key is just to be in a good athletic position. You don't want your feet too wide unless you're playing in and shallow. You turn into a hockey goalie, it feels like sometimes. But a lot of guys want to be in that good athletic position, much like if you're defending a guy in basketball. Shoulder width apart, knees bent at the hips. When a guy goes to field a ground ball, the feet get a little bit wider so you can get the butt down. Get the butt down, the glove goes down. Makes it much easier to field that ground ball.
Kid Sunday, we'll try and teach you some aspects about the game as we continue on this beautiful day here in Houston. Matt Joyce, the batter, with 2 outs and nobody on. Joyce takes a pitch down low for a ball, 1-0. Jeff Blum describing what to do as an infielder as the pitch is coming home. In this case, 3 of the 4 infielders are on the right side against Joyce, which means the Astros are anticipating that Joyce, if he hits the ball on the ground, will hit the ball on the right side. Keuchel with a 2-1 count. Dallas has 6 strikeouts. Little shallow fly ball in the left that'll fall in front of Norioki for just the second hit of the game for Oakland. Joyce, a 2-out base runner.
And the 3rd hit given up to a lefty.
This year.
But it's only the 27th plate appearance, too.
That's the first one to the opposite field for a lefty this season against Dallas Keuchel. His numbers are remarkable so far. 41 and 2/3 innings for Keuchel, and that's the first left-hand hitter to have a base hit the other way. Here's Ryan Lamar. Only the 3rd hit all year for a lefty. Lamar on the ground towards Altuve. He was ready defensively, and he flips it to Carlos Correa for the force out. And that'll do it. 1 man left on base. 2-0 Astros. Astros baseball on Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Shoppa's Farm Supply. Your John Deere dealer along the Gulf Coast. Come by one of our 8 area locations. Shoppa's, all things John Deere. Bottom half of the 5th inning, George Springer leads things off against Jesse Hahn. Couple of RBI doubles for Houston, and Springer sends one into left field on the first pitch he sees. That's a base hit. Springer's on for the 2nd time today.
A little more of a relaxing single for George Springer this time around. Just take a nice leisurely jog after hitting the slider back up the middle. Good piece of hitting. Head down, drive through it.
George came in with a batting average on low pitches below 100, so good to see him take that low pitch in the left center field for a hit. And here's Josh Reddick, misses outside for a ball, 1-0. We talked today on this Kids Sunday about kids pitching and how you should wait to throw a breaking ball. Jesse Hahn's got one of the better breaking balls in the game in terms of spin rate. Gets a lot of spin on that curveball of his. But it also puts a lot of wear and tear on your arm. And coming out of Virginia Tech, this kid who graduated from Fitch High School in Connecticut mentioned school with Matt Harvey. He had to have Tommy John surgery at an age 20 years old, when most kids are just fulfilling their body and hoping to advance in the minor leagues or at the collegiate level where he was at Virginia Tech. He was drafted after Tommy John surgery, but then everybody was very, very careful with him. And we're going to get another catcher's interference. 3rd one of this series for Josh Reddick. This time Josh Begley, the catcher. The other 2 were with Stephen Vogt behind the plate for Oakland. And on this Kids Sunday, we can explain catcher's interference.
Yeah, when the bat hits the catcher's glove, you see the catcher reaching out, trying to get that pitch. Anticipating the catch, gets in the way of Josh Reddick's swing. He does stand in the back part of the box. He's not out of the box, but he's on that back line. And your job as a catcher is to recognize when a guy is that far back. But how about recognizing the fact that Josh Reddick has done that twice already in this series? You don't make that mistake a third time.
Plus, he was your teammate last year, and for 5 years prior to that. So,
yeah,
it's not like he's a new guy to the Oakland A's. It's kind of unusual. We mentioned in the broadcast on Friday, he did not have one catcher's interference all of last year. He did have 5 the year before, but now he has 3 in one series. Called strike to Jose Altuve, 0-1.
I'd really like to listen to our opposing broadcast in the next booth and have Ray Fosse have a couple comments on that. Longtime all-star catcher in the major leagues, now doing the color commentary on the Oakland A's broadcast.
Yeah, I'm sure Foss has an opinion on that for sure. That's a little unusual to see 3 in a series. Sometimes you don't see 3 in a season as Altuve bounces one foul.
I played for almost 14 years, and I don't think I saw 3 in my entire career.
In any games you played?
I had one of them myself, and I don't remember seeing that many.
It is unusual. We've seen a bunch this year. We've seen 3 called on the Astros. We've seen 3 called on the A's this series alone. And it's all on the same hitter, Josh Reddick. Altuve down in the count, 0-2. That didn't stop Jose last time. He got down in the count, 0-2. Still ended up battling his way back and ended up with an infield hit. You are a youngster on this Kids Sunday, and you find yourself with a 0-2 count, 0-2 count. What do you try and do at that point?
Well, you're trying to see the ball as long as you can. Don't panic is the key too, because remember, the pitcher has to throw you a strike. You don't have to chase out of the zone. It's hard, but you've got to stay in the strike zone and understand that the pitcher still has to throw another pitch to you before he gets you out or you get a hit. Look for that outside corner and try and react.
Some guys choke up just a little bit with 2 strikes.
Guys will choke up and try and punch at the baseball, but I don't like the fact that that changes your initial approach. I want you to be who you are in the box for the first 2 pitches, and I want you to maintain it through the end of the at-bat. I don't want you to change just because you get into a panic situation with 2 strikes.
And you've seen 2 pitches out of the zone that Altuve did not chase. Now he's right back into an even count. Fouls one away.
Well, you want to be in a position like you just saw Altuve. Maybe he's looking fastball away, adjusting to the off speed, but he was still in a good position to hit. And I don't want to take that away from kids. I want them to still be in a good position to hit. You see the foot down, the recognition, and he still takes a pretty good pass at it. And this is a guy who is a very high contact guy with his ability. He doesn't have to change in that 2-strike count. I don't think anybody else should have to either.
Second straight at bat, Altuve's been down 0-2. He worked the bat to a 1-2 count, then an infield hit his last time. Now he's 2-2 in this AB. He rips one into right field for a base hit. Being held at third is Springer. The Astros with the bases loaded and nobody out. Altuve continues to amaze.
That ball was smoked. Jose Altuve still going with the leg kick. He may have the intention of taking the pitch the other way, but he's going to take it there with authority. It's a great look at it. The hands are back. Recognize. That brain tells the body, go for it. And he hammers it into right field. To his detriment, too, because he hit it so hard, George was unable to score. But it sets up a great situation here for Carlos Correa.
It's a great example, and you said at the very start of the broadcast, and again, this is our Kids Sunday broadcast. We're trying to teach kids how to play the game of baseball. You said at the very start, watch Jose Altuve for a lot of reasons.
Everything he does, he runs hard, he plays hard, he's always ready on defense. The mentality, that is a guy you're looking at right there that loves the game day in, day out. Day games are tough in the big leagues, but you wouldn't tell it by looking at that guy right there because he enjoys and loves this game so much. And he knows eyes are on him. He wants to convey that conviction to the game, to the younger kids.
And the other thing is, as Carlos Correa steps in there, with the bases loaded and nobody out against Jesse Hahn, Correa had an RBI double his first time, is any kid that looks at Jose Altuve Might not be able to play basketball, might not be able to play other sports at 5 foot. They listed at 6, let's just say that for the. But if you're a young kid and you're one of the smaller kids in your class, just look at Jose Altuve. He's one of the game's best. 1-0 the count to Carlos Correa. Outside 2-0. Now Correa can kind of lock in here with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Yeah, we call it keyhole. Pick a spot, whether it be right down the middle, inside edge, but keyhole and focus on that one spot. If that pitch is in that spot, unleash all fury on it.
Catches the corner, 2-1.
So what? Big deal. 2-1 count, you're still in it.
Springer on third, Reddick on second, Altuve on first, nobody out. Astros trying to extend a 2-0 lead. Inside, he held it up at 3-1. Nowhere to put Carlos Correa. He hit a double his first time. He hit a ball deep to left field that, without the wind blowing in, could have been a home run on a different day. There, now the count's full.
Well, when you're looking in and you get a pitch in, it might be a little bit quick, like you just saw Carlos Correa.
Carlos just 22 years old. 44 career home runs. Has not hit a grand slam. Foul tip, staying alive. Called third strike. Correa goes down for the first out in the fifth.
Just off the edge, but Carlos Correa concedes that AB by taking with runners in scoring position.
Here's Brian McCann. McCann hit one deep to center field. Ryan Lamar thought he might be playing one off the wall or having to go over the wall. Instead, he stopped on the front of the warning track and made the play. Saw McCann's numbers with active players for career grand slams right near the top of the list. McCann also has an infield single. He's 1 for 2.
Jesse. Trying to catch Josh Reddick napping. I'm sure that's going to be possible. That guy's high energy. He's in tune with everything.
On the ground, past the glove of Healy into right field. 1 run scores. Reddick comes home. He'll score. Brian McCann drives in 2. It's a 4-0 game.
They've gotten a little Minute Maid Park love right here. Playing first base is tough. He might have hit the lip. Nice. Healy, usually a DH, has moved from third base to first base in his career. Gets himself a tough hop, much to the delight of George Springer and the Houston Astros.
That is a big break for Houston, and they will take it now 4-0. Here's Yuli Gurriel, first and third, one out. A's playing for a double play here as they keep the infield back. Now, if that ball does not hit the lip, it's a potential double play with McCann running.
That was crazy.
So it goes from a potential inning-ending double play to a 4-0 lead. First and third, one out.
And Healy's playing deep, too. I thought he had plenty of time to read that hop, but it still ate him up.
On the ground towards the middle, Rosales will flip it to Pinder. Bare hand catch and throw. Nicely turned by the A's to prevent another run from scoring.
Big DP from the Oakland A's to pick up Jesse Plum. Texas Auto Diamond King Jose Cruz, traded from the Cardinals to the Astros for cash in 1974. Probably one of the better purchases in Astro history. Led the Astros in RBI 7 times, batting average 6 times, home runs 3 times. Has his number retired. Texas Baseball Hall of Fame member. How about that? That last line is pretty impressive. Third in Astros all-time WAR behind Bagwell and Biggio says a lot to what Cheo Cruz did for these Houston Astros over the years.
There he is, number 25, up there amongst the greats at Minute Maid Park. Quite a career for Jose Cruz, as Dallas Keuchel misses for a ball, 1-0.
He was also one of the best first base coaches I've ever had, other than Davey Lopes. Davey Lopes was number 1, but Cheo Cruz, he was awesome.
Give me a couple attributes which made him so good at first base.
You swing and miss, or you don't swing hard, he'd start screaming at you. Blow me, blow me. And he'd look at me and he'd pick up that right leg like he would proudly do every time he swung the bat.
Right.
And he'd be screaming at me to get that knee up. Load, and what he was trying to tell me to do was get that thing loaded, get ready to fire.
And then you get a base hit and he wants to give you a hug at first, right?
Absolutely. Oh, he would. He was not shy about it. Or you launch one into this bullpen out here in right center field. He'd be coming running down that first base line with his hand up. Oh, man. He'd want that high five. He loved it.
Good stuff. 1-2 the count to Adam Rosales as we start the 6th inning. Michael misses inside. It's 2-2. Dallas now working with a 4-0 lead. Dallas, the leadoff hitter, has struck out and grounded out. There's a ball sent towards Altuve, and Jose's back there to make the play. He flips it back in for the first out of the 6th inning.
Check out some Cheo Cruz. Got that TV tape on. He'd roll up the sleeves, show the guns a little bit. Pipe one right back up the middle. Dude could hit. He's quite the showman, too. Think his teammates didn't love him?
Yeah, Cesar Cedeno picking him up at home plate after that walk off as Trevor Plouffe takes one down low for a ball, 1-0. Swings through that changeup 1-1, and on another afternoon where Keuchel and McCann seem to be locked in, Dallas has allowed 2 hits through 5 1/3 innings. He's walked 1 and he struck out 6. On the ground toward short, Correa. Dallas Keuchel gets 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Soft line drive and now a ground out.
Connect Astros baseball all season with the MLB.com @Bat mobile app. Customize the app for the Astros and get awesome stuff all season by subscribing to @Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. Download MLB.com @Bat today, the #1 app for live Astros baseball.
5-year-old Phillies right there. It's a good age. Coach pitch baseball. Best part about it is if you head out for ice cream after the game.
Believe it. Get you some pizza and ice cream.
Here's Brian Healy swinging a miss, nothing in one. Healy is lined out and struck out.
Back when wearing your uni out in public was okay. They got upset with me when I did that for the first time in Montreal.
Oh, 2. Rookie mistake.
It happens. I was excited.
Keuchel faced these A's on the 14th of the month and went 7 innings of 1-run baseball on 4 hits. Trying to get through the 6th. 2 strikes on Healy. And a 3-pitch strikeout. Dallas Keuchel. 2017 has been really pleasant to watch. 1, 2, 3, 6. It's 4-0 Houston.
For your clues today, made his debut at the age of 19. A multiple-time Gold Glove winner and et tu Brute. If you know, tweet us at Root Sports SW for Name That Astro.
Et tu Brute.
I'm a little stumped right now.
Evan Gattis leading off and takes a breaking ball from Jesse Hahn for a called strike. 0-1. Astros lead 4-0. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Hahn allowing a couple of runs in the 5th inning. One of those earned, one of those unearned. '81 pitches in for Jesse Hahn. He did have a doctor, Dr. Bruce Guillory, who tweeted us about how he has seen a lot of teen pitchers with elbow issues, talking about Hahn having Tommy John at an early age 20. He did have it from the best. Dr. James Andrews did the surgery, as he is one of the orthopedic surgeons for the Tampa Bay Rays. But Hahn really took a while to get back to where he could pitch a full season. In fact, he made the Florida State League All-Star team as a member of the Charlotte Stone Crabs. Mid-season All-Star team, didn't have a win or a save. He would start games and go 3 innings, 3 1/3, 4, 4 1/3, just slowly working his way back to full strength. Then went to the Padres, part of a trade. He made his debut with San Diego before moving to Oakland. Pitches away, but Tommy John has become so common now. But you never like to see it with, as a doctor who tweeted us, teenager certainly, or Jesse Hahn's case, just into his 20s. So be careful of the breaking ball, kids, if you're learning to pitch. Evan Gattis.
And don't throw 300 innings a year.
You know, that's another interesting point, Blummer, because as Gattis pops one on the infield, there are opportunities here in Texas, where I lived in the state of Florida, certainly California, where you're from, to pretty much play baseball year-round.
Yeah.
Travel teams. You can specialize in a sport now and play 11, 12 months out of the year. So you have to really be careful of how much you do throw in a season.
Yeah, I am in the boat that says play multiple sports, become an all-around athlete, and eventually you'll figure out where you're going to play, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, track and field, whatever the sport is, tennis. But just narrowing down too early in your life, in your career, in your athleticism, I think is a detriment. You want to be able to use those other sports to be attributable to the sport you eventually choose to play.
I think there's a tendency, as Marlon Gonzalez sends a foul out of play, I think there's a tendency to, if you're really good at one sport, you want to play that the whole time. But like you say, it's better to be well-rounded, and even if you're not as good at sport B or C, to lock into sport A for an entire calendar year is tough to do.
And guys, Major League Baseball I thought was so good with their Pitch Mark campaign that they've launched, encouraging some of the same initiatives you're talking about. And remember, as a father, buy a pitch counter, and you're the boss when it comes to these select teams. You're the one who says if he's going to pitch 5 or 6 innings. There's no need to throw 110, 120 pitches to win a trophy when you're talking about a kid's future in his arm.
Good point. Parents are involved in these situations. Baseball is a very unique sport in the sense that throwing is a sport-specific movement. And it's an unnatural movement for the arm to come over the top and throw a baseball as hard as you can. So you're developing tendons differently, but the repetitive motion, all you're going to do is teach yourself how to do that one thing. And the second you do that one thing wrong is when the issue occurs. So if you're a little more well-rounded and teach those muscles and develop the muscles around some of the tendons that you do have, maybe you're going to maybe lessen your chance of blowing out. That's a theory. I'm not saying I'm right, because I obviously haven't done the research that a lot of doctors have taken the opportunity to do. And Brett's right. You know, baseball has taken the initiative and trying to give people as much information as they can.
In the dirt, 2-2.
But just to make an example, I played soccer and basketball as a kid and baseball. And I played basketball as far into high school as I could until I chose baseball to be my sport. But I always felt that basketball did two things for me. It got me in great shape for baseball season, and it also taught me a lot about agility and going side to side and foot quickness. It was attributable to me playing a relatively good infield.
On the ground, gloved by the first baseman Healy. He makes the play for the second out. Jose Cruz Jr. at home plate. That's Cesar Cedeno, right? Okay. A couple people on Twitter.
No, I didn't know where we were going.
I was having a separate conversation.
Yeah. All right.
That was my bad.
Good talk, boys. It's a two-man booth, right?
I went AWOL on you for a pitch.
You did.
I had a few people tweeting about Cesar Cedeno. I call him Cesar Cedeno. I think you go either way, but whatever. I was like, wasn't that Cesar Cedeno that picked him up at home plate? So I had verification there.
I love it.
2-0 the count to Nori Aoki. We are in the 6th inning of a 4-0 Astros lead. And a called strike, 2-1. Aoki, he's a baseball rat. Talk about a guy who kind of focuses on one sport. But yeah, I think good point about being well-rounded and one sport helping out another. It's a 3-1 to Nori Aoki.
I'm not going to lie to you. I played Legion ball. I never played travel ball because it wasn't really relevant at the time when I was playing. But I did get burned out playing baseball. There was a time where I was like, enough. I'm going to go play some basketball. I'm going to go play some soccer with the boys. But back in my hometown, we actually had a good crew of guys who would actually go from sport to sport to sport. And we had a blast. As long as we were hanging around each other, we'd go play some different sports. It was awesome.
3-2 popping in the air. So Jesse Hahn, after a struggle in the 5th, is going to have a 1-2-3-6 as he retires Aoki for the final out. We head to the 7th, 4-0 Astros.
Visit Astros.com/bricks for more details.
All right, Brett, we head to the 7th inning, and Dallas Keuchel has been at his normal self here in this 2017 season. It has been fun to watch this left-hander every 5 days, coming off a complete game against the Cleveland Indians, and he starts Chris Davis off with a breaking ball that doesn't miss by much. Dallas would have liked that. It's 1-0.
I think Brian McCann wanted it too, kind of stuck it there and held it, just to reinforce the fact that Hunter may have missed it.
Only walk allowed by Dallas Keuchel in this game was to Chris Davis. And in that at bat, didn't look like Dallas wanted to give in to Davis. 2-1 or 3-1. The guy who has done the most damage in this series, Chris Davis, with 5 of the 6 runs batted in. Now Keuchel behind 2-0. Now 3-0. That is the first A's leadoff hitter to reach base in this series. 25 innings in. and they have a leadoff hitter for each base. Kind of remarkable.
It is remarkable, but you got to take into consideration who it is too. I know that Dallas Keuchel has given up some solo home runs, but really not giving in to Chris Davis there at all. Rather take his chances with him on first and some of the guys behind him. We know that he can get out of plenty of innings with a ground ball double play.
Jed Lowry takes a pitch inside for a ball. Well, Dallas all of a sudden is missed with the first 5 this inning. You see Lowry has struck out and grounded out. Dallas hasn't had an opportunity to roll up a double play much in this game because the only base runners that have been on since the first inning have been on with 2 outs. Now he's 1-1 on Lowry. Bluth reached second base with 1 out in the first. The other 2 base runners in the game reached with 2 outs. So this is truly the first double play opportunity for Keuchel. Down and in, it's 2-1.
Keuchel does so many things well. And when base runners do get on first base against him, the double play is obviously in effect, but he does such a good job of holding runners on too that he keeps them at first base and allows that double play to develop.
Now it's 3-1, and Brian McCann wants to have a little word with his left-hander. Astros looking to defeat the A's in this series. Houston had their 10-game winning streak against Oakland snapped last night as the A's won that game 2-1. Trying to start a new streak. Win 2 out of 3 before the Rangers come in town for 4. Dallas walked Chris Davis on 4 pitches, now down to Lowry 3-1. And now it's 3-2.
Believe it. Good sign. Go Astros.
A lot of kids out here on this Sunday. Roof is open for the first time since the opening homestand. In the air. Shallow center. Springer doesn't see it, but it's okay because Jose Altuve does, and there's one away. So one detriment to the open roof. Sometimes those high skies, the blue skies, you can lose high fly balls like Springer just did.
It's all right when you got Kelly Leak on your team.
And it's okay if there's Kelly Leak there, right?
Yeah.
And
Jose Altuve is the Houston Astro Kelly Leak. He is all over the place, and he has no problem taking the baseball away from you.
Kelly Leak, of course, for young fans who have not seen Bad News Bears. I hope even young kids still watch Bad News Bears.
How do you not?
You've got to, right?
He's highly entertaining.
Josh Fegley, the batter. Kelly took every fly ball in the air. And you're saying that whenever a pop-up goes up, it's Altuve's basically?
Oh, he will take it away from everybody. It's the funniest thing. Him and Correa always fighting over it. Altuve usually wins. He'll call Gurriel off. Even though George Springer plays it off as I have no idea where it is, Altuve knows exactly where that baseball is.
And he turns around and says, don't get too close to me. Teoscar got a little close on that last road trip.
Good call. Highly recommend that. There's definitely some personal space issues for Jose Altuve when he goes in the outfield. Right here. This is mine. You stay there. Stay away from me. Saw what happened to the last guy. Put him on the DL.
I love that Altuve and Correa and others still play the game with the passion of a little leaguer as Fegley rips one foul out in front of that one and sent one into the crowd.
There he is. Ball goes up. Guess who's going to make the play? Jose Altuve. That's Kelly Leak right there, ladies and gentlemen. We got a guy there.
This is awesome that they have this ready to go in the truck.
I got it.
That is support from the truck to the booth right there. 1 and 2 the count to Fegley.
We're educating the kids. Teach them about baseball. We'll teach them about good baseball movies too. Kelly Leak.
Keuchel with 7 strikeouts ahead of Fegley 1-2. And he tries to hold up, and he does apparently. It's 2-2. 7 strikeouts matches the season high for Dallas. He struck out 7 against the Angels here at home in his last start at Minute Maid Park. Also struck out 7 Athletics in his previous start against Oakland this year. That came 2 weeks and 2 days ago at Oakland Coliseum. On the ground toward short. This could be the double play we've talked about. Correa to Altuve, the throw a little wide. Pulls Gurriel off the bag. Fegley lives on a fielder's choice. Well, Dallas got the ground ball, but couldn't get the double play.
Not hit very hard off the end of the bat. Good job by Correa giving that feed up around the shoulders of Jose Altuve. Just doesn't finish the throw. May not have had a grip on it either. We've seen him make some very good turns. Usually a reliable second baseman, but there are opportunities sometimes where you don't get a very good grip on the baseball. Nobody more annoyed with himself than Jose Altuve. He's a perfectionist out there.
We talked about Josh Reddick always being able to tell what he's feeling on the field. Altuve's another guy.
Yeah.
Those emotions are worn on his sleeve, and he is frustrated with himself right now. Walking around behind the plate, behind the bag, hands on his hips. He is just agitated right now.
He's agitated generally when he doesn't make a play, but I guarantee you with a guy like Dallas Keuchel on the bump, he's even more agitated because he knows how much those DPs mean to him.
I mean, he's kicking to the dirt. After every pitch, he's got his hands on his hips.
You know who would have made that play? Kelly Lee.
1-1 to count. With 2 outs to Pinder, and the pitch is a strike, 1-2. Yeah, you love a guy who is that passionate about the game. You're right. He's more frustrated for Dallas. He's frustrated for himself, but he's frustrated because he didn't turn a double play for Dallas Keuchel, who now has to work to Chad Pinder with a 1-2 count. And it's in the dirt for a ball. It's 2-2.
Might be the point where Altuve knows that Dallas Keuchel has gone 7 strong plus in every start, like you were talking about, for that streak that he's on. That double play would have gotten him out of it. Now he's got to throw a couple extra pitches.
5 in this at bat as he's 3-2 on Pinder. Up to 88 pitches now in the game. Dallas coming off a 117 pitch complete game performance. Swing and a miss. Season high 8 strikeouts for Dallas Keuchel. He is through 7 as he has been for every start this season. That's now 6 in a row this year, 8 in a row overall, matching Roy Oswalt. August to September of 2008, 8 straight starts of 7 innings or more. Astros lead 4-0, 7th inning stretch time on a Sunday afternoon here at Minute Maid Park.
7th inning, and it's time to name that Astro. Brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Here are the clues, and earlier today the guys were talking about Cheo Cruz having the 3rd best WAR in Astros history behind Bagwell and Biggio. I might have guessed this guy, Cesar Cedeno. Of course, Ty kind of jumped the gun on us a bit, but Cesar Cedeno, a multiple Gold Glove winner, and guys, truly one of the icons in this franchise's history. But I think we have one more tweet we're going to take a look at before we throw it back upstairs, and there's your Kelly Leak baseball card.
The legend. That's right, Ramon.
All-star.
That is beautiful.
Nice. That is good stuff, boys. We head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. 4-0 Astros. George Springer leads things off, followed by Josh Reddick and Jose Altuve. Springer up the middle off Liam Hendricks just into the game. Pinder nicely to his right makes the play for the first out.
Josh Reddick had an AP back in Cleveland, just giving the kids at home an idea of how to be patient, selective, fight off some tough pitches, because you're going to face pitchers that are better than you. But there's ways to compete against them. Make them throw some pitches, foul some tough pitches off, being ready and having a really good eye out there. You got to have enough confidence in yourself to go out there and not be afraid of those ABs. Saw a high-quality AB from a guy in Josh Reddick who predicates himself on putting together some tough ABs. Eventually worked himself a walk.
Reddick scored a run his last time up after reaching on catcher's interference, and now he jumps out of the way of that pitch from Hendricks. It's 2-0. Well, you were a switch hitter, so you didn't have to deal with lefty on lefty, but a key for a kid who is a left-handed hitter or a righty against a righty. What's the key to stay in there, as we saw Reddick do against a guy like Mueller?
You'll always hear them say, keep that front shoulder closed as long as you possibly can, because you basically lose your swing or you lose the barrel when that front shoulder goes flying.
Reddick in the air to right. Matt Joyce makes the play.
And that's all it is. Keep it in there as long as you possibly can, because the instinct is to open up and see the ball better. But when you do that and you lose the front shoulder, the swing pretty much falls apart.
I know for you it was later in your career when you started to switch hit, but if a kid has a chance and they're able to learn how to switch hit at an early age, that's probably a huge advantage, huh?
Yeah, I messed around with it. I never did it in a ball game. I always did it in the batting cages with my buddies. We were kind of messing around. You'd start betting them. Hey, you buy the next Snickers bar or something like that. If I get two hits in the cage left-handed, so I'd go in there and do it. But I did learn how to do it late, and the reason I did it is because I didn't want to be taken out of the lineup. I wanted to stay in the lineup as often as I could. And I didn't want to be the guy that was taken out because of matchups or platoons. But it definitely elongated my career by being able to be a left-handed hitter. I was a natural right-handed hitter that moved to the left side. And I'm eternally grateful to my college coach who forced me to switch hit.
1-1 the count to Altuve. For each person, it's a different learning curve. How long into the process would you say it was before you were a comfortable left-handed hitter?
Before I wanted to quit. It was about 50 ABs before I walked into the coach's office and I said, I'm done. And he said, if you're done, so is your scholarship. I immediately got back in that left-handed batter's box. But it took me it might have been maybe the fourth year, because I know my junior year in college, I put up some decent numbers. I didn't have much pop because I was still just trying to figure out how to get the barrel to the baseball. But my first season in pro ball, I hit .344 and hit a couple of home runs. And that's when I really started to feel comfortable.
Liam Hendricks with a strong 1-2-3 inning against the top of the Astros order. We are heading to the eighth, 4-0 Houston.
The biggest rivalries in baseball. It starts tomorrow as your Astros take on the Texas Rangers in the Lone Star Series presented by Texas Lottery. Get tickets to the Battle for the Boots by visiting Astros.com or calling 1-877-9-ASTROS. 4 games set coming up with Texas. And boys, I think that'll liven this building up a little bit for a midweek, early May series.
Couldn't agree with you more, Brett. That's going to be a lot of fun here for the next 4 nights as Dallas Keuchel works into the 8th inning for his second consecutive start. As Matt Joyce fouls one back to the screen, 0-1. There's a little payback in store here if you're an Astros fan for the last couple of years in that Lone Star Series. 15-4 last year, 13-6 the year before. One pitch to Joyce is inside for a ball, 1-1. And Lance McCullers will kick off that series for Houston against the Texas Rangers tomorrow night. He'll be opposed by Andrew Kashner in the first game of that 4-game set. Joyce tried to check his swing but could not. It's 1-2. It has been a joy to watch the work of the 29-year-old left-hander Dallas Keuchel this season. Every start, now 6 in the season, he's gone at least 7 innings. Through 7 innings, he has not allowed more than 1 run in any start. Allowed a second run in the 9th inning of his last start as he gets Joyce looking at a called third strike. Today's league leaders are presented by Houston Methodist. Texas Rangers coming to town. Starters ERA blubber right up there near the top. It's the bullpen that's giving them trouble.
and the offense. Definitely want to knock that starter out and get to that relief ERA. The back end of the bullpen for the Rangers has been the issue. Sam Dyson getting blown up, a little bit of time on the DL. But the offense is hitting .223 and their on-base percentage is under .300 by a point.
And those batting average and on-base percentage numbers would lend you to think that they're towards the bottom in runs scored, but they've done a good job getting those runners home as a barehanded play made nicely by Marwin Gonzalez for the second out.
That's pretty fancy and probably completely unnecessary, but it looked good. Well, Mar runs decently, but you see Marwin setting up for the barehanded throw. You make the play, everybody says great play. You don't, they go, why did you do the bare hand? But Marwin Gonzalez sure-handed right there. Nice.
Top of the order, Adam Rosales takes a called strike. Keuchel has allowed 2 base hits. Only one since the first inning as Luke Gregerson begins to throw in the Astros bullpen. Keuchel's also allowed 2 walks, both to Chris Davis, which, considering he has 3 home runs in the series and 10 on the year, is not the worst guy to walk if you're going to have 2 walks. 0-2 to Adam Rosales. And on this Sunday afternoon, watching another gem from their opening day starter, Dallas Keuchel. Dallas approaching the 100 pitch plateau, coming off 117 pitches in his last start. Lined into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Cut off by Aoki nicely, holding Rosales to a single. Just the 3rd hit of the day for the A's. Rosales a 2-out base runner.
We've got time to reveal our Chevy Stroh poll. Which series at Minute Maid Park are you most looking forward to? Everybody wants to see that Rangers series. That big matchup from the team we share the state with.
For Dallas Keuchel in 2017, he has been brilliant for another start.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's be honest, he already has the award won once in 2015. He got that Cy Young. He is looking Cy Young-like again here in 2017, having a spectacular start to this season. April has been very kind to him. 99 pitches in this ball game after going 7 2/3. I know a lot of people like to see him finish that off, but coming off 117 pitches in his previous start in a complete game, I think that A.J. Hinch was more than comfortable handing it over to the bullpen right here. 9 punch-outs, a very, very solid start again from Dallas Keuchel.
3 hits allowed. Keuchel leaves with a runner on first base. His responsibility. Luke Gregerson on as the new pitcher. He will face a pinch hitter in Yonder Alonso, who hits for Trevor Plouffe. We have seen Keuchel go at least 7 now in all 6 outings as Luke Gregerson takes over.
No, those aren't the typical numbers. If you take 1 outing out of there, Luke Gregerson has some phenomenal numbers. He has been scoreless in 10 of his 11 appearances this season.
10 1/3 innings in those other outings where he has not allowed a run. And just the 6 runs in the 1 outing against Kansas City. Bizarre for a number of reasons. Bizarre because Gregerson gave up 6 in an inning. And even more strange when you consider Kansas City is by far the worst team in runs scored in Major League Baseball. They have struggled mightily with their offense this year. There goes the runner on the 1-0 pitch. It's low. McCann's throw is not in time. Stolen base for Adam Rosales. Gregerson now with a 2-0 count on the pinch hitter Yonder Alonso. Keuchel picked up all 27 outs in his last start for the Astros, and today picking up 23 outs, trying to get the bullpen for the final 4 outs with a 4-0 lead. And Gregerson throws one in the dirt. That's going to advance the runner to third. Rosales takes a big turn. Stolen base and now a wild pitch and a 3-0 count on Alonso. And a 4-pitch walk. Now fans are really wondering why Keuchel's not stealing again. Obviously, Luke Gregerson did not want to do that, but a 4-pitch walk and a wild pitch in the mix. But now he'll deal with Ryan Healy.
Get back to that slider against the right-handed hitter. You can see the intense look on Dallas Keuchel's face because that's his runner at third base.
So Healy, who is 0 for 3 today, 2 of the 9 strikeouts picked up by Dallas Keuchel. Pitch away and low, 1-0. This time Gregerson has faced Ryan Healy, and he and Brian McCann will have a quick talk. As Davinsky starts to warm up in the Astros bullpen.
Command issues for Luke Gregerson, missing badly by his standards.
There is a strike. The middle, base hit into center field. A's score their first run of the game. RBI single by Ryan Healy. It's now 4-1. As Adam Rosales crosses the plate. And that run will go against Dallas Keuchel.
We'll officially close the book on Dallas Keuchel this afternoon.
Unfortunate for Dallas, 7 2/3 innings, allows the 1 run on 3 hits. Struck out 9 and walked 2. He walked this guy, Chris Davis, twice. Now all of a sudden, in the 8th inning, Chris Davis represents the tying run in this game. Astros leading 4-1. On the ground, Altuve bobbles, has time, makes the play, and that'll do it for the A's. They score 1. We head to the bottom of the 8th. It's 4-1 Astros. Presented by Southwest Airlines. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. (4-1) Astros, bottom half of the 8th inning.
Oh, that was sick.
That slide?
TV slide. I like it.
Roof is open on this Sunday afternoon at Minute Maid Park. 4-1 Astros lead. We have a new pitcher on for Oakland. Hardest thrower out of their bullpen, Frankie Montas.
Some history with Frankie Montas. And Carlos Correa, he throws the fastball, averaging 96.6 miles an hour. Changeup, slider also.
Thanks for Stephanie Montoya for all those shots of her child's little league over there. 5-year-old Little League team, the Phillies and the Pirates. Carlos Correa, not real thrilled to see Frankie Montas on the mound. Of course, he's the first batter that has to face Montas. Last time these two guys matched up, Montas hit Correa in the hand and cost him a couple games.
Here's a look at that. Not being on the hands. Talked about how firm he throws. We're lucky that Carlos didn't have any broken bones in there.
Ended up missing 2 games. Pitch misses inside to Correa, 1-2. Montas on for Liam Hendricks, who threw a perfect 7th inning. 24-year-old right-hander taking over here in the bottom of the 8th. And right back through the middle. That's one way to get back at him. You hit me with a pitch, I come right back through the middle with a hit. Correa, leadoff base runner in the 8th.
Nicely done. Return to sender. Almost got him.
So here's Brian McCann. McCann with an RBI, 2 RBI single his last time up, 2 for 3. Also was flied out deep to center field. All that Ryan Lamar thought was going to go towards the wall or maybe over the wall ended up on the front of the warning track with the wind blowing in today. Correa with a 2-hit game is now 2 for 4. McCann with a couple of hits. Altuve has 2 hits. So 3, 4, and 5 with 6 of the 9 hits for the Astros today. Pitch misses away. It's 1-1. Good to see Carlos also get down in the count 0-2 and then get a pitch he was able to get a base hit on. That's something we've seen Correa take some strikes and swing at some pitches outside the zone, but today it seems like he's had better zone control, even though it did strike out once. Up high, 2-1 to McCann. RBI doubles by Correa in the first, Gaddis in the 4th, and a 2 RBI single by McCann in the 5th. That's how the Astros scored their 4 runs. Single by Oakland off the bat of Ryan Healy scored a run in the 8th. Called strike on McCann. It's 2-2. Full count.
Come on, Brian.
Down and in, ball 4. Astros have the first 2 on in the bottom of the 8th, looking to add to a 4-1 lead.
2017 Coca-Cola Astros Buddies memberships are on sale now for only $25. Kids up to 12 years old get a voucher for 4 tickets to a select Astros game, priority access to Kids Run the Bases, player autograph sessions, and more. Visit astros.com/buddies to get a Buddies membership for your kid today.
Now you have a situation with first and second and nobody out. On this Kids Sunday, it's been a teaching Sunday, trying to help youngsters of all ages learn the game of baseball. If you're a base runner now on second base and you're trying to find a way to get a good lead and try and score on a base hit, I guess the first thing you're trying to see is where the middle infielders are.
Yeah, first thing you want to do is pick up outfield defense, then infield defense.
you try and will get as far off the bag as you can, as long as you're not further off the bag than that middle infielder is.
Yeah, you've got to have a good idea of your own ability to get back to second base. I always tried to extend it at second base because I'm in scoring position and I wanted to get a good secondary just in case a ball got through the infield. I wanted to get a great jump and have a good turnaround third so I could score.
Nobody really checking Correa at second, so he's able to get a good lead. A one pitch to Gurriel is fouled back. It's 0-2.
And you want to recognize where the outfield is playing so that you know if a ball is hitting a particular area, and if it's not hit very hard, if they're playing deeper, get a good jump and anticipate that ball being on the ground so you can score too.
Here you see the lead by Correa and jockeying by Pinder, the second baseman.
If you're the trail runner, you want to extend your lead even more, especially if there's less than 2 outs, because you can blow up the play at second base.
Swinging a foul tip, stays 0-2.
Or at least that's what it was when I was playing. Can't do that anymore.
You can still put pressure, but you can't blow a guy up. You can slide into the bag. Take out.
Apologize.
I mean, you can still put pressure by making it a close play and having the second baseman or shortstop have to jump over you with a legal slide. On the ground, just foul. Gary Pettis was waving around the runner, but just fouled down the third baseline. Willie Gurriel has had quite a season hitting overall, but especially against right-hand pitching, best in the game.
Yeah, the way he's been going, you just assume that's a fair ball.
Willie 0 for 2 today, was hit by a pitch and scored a run. Has also been dynamic this year with runners in scoring position. Down in the count, 0-2. And swing and a miss. Gurriel goes down swinging. He has not struck out much this year, just 11 strikeouts now. It's 70, I think that 80 at bats.
Smart pairings right there. Keep those Astros buddies memberships going. Nicely done.
We saw a lot of kids here before the game walking around the field, a lot of little leaguers, and a lot of them are signing up to be Astros buddies. Here's Evan Gattis, 2 on, 1 out. Gattis 1 for 3 with an RBI double. Final numbers on Dallas Keuchel in the month of April. 44 2/3 innings, 25 hits, 11 walks, 36 strikeouts.
Undefeated.
1.20 ERA, currently 4-0, hoping to move to 5-0, trying to become the only other Astro other than Roger Clemens to win 5 games in April. 1-0 pitch is a called strike, 1-1. Just start after start after start. Consistency from Dallas Keuchel has been one of the most enjoyable parts of the month of April. Last year, 7-17 month for the Houston Astros. This year, 15-9 and a 4-1 lead in the bottom of the 8th. In the air, popped up shallow center, going back Pinder, and he'll make the play for out number 2.
You know what Keuchel's ERA was 2015 in April?
I'd like to know.
0.73. That was in 37 innings pitched. Gave up 3 earned runs.
37 innings.
Opponent batting average for that month of April in 2015 was $130.
And the numbers are right there. The hits, 25 hits. How many hits was it that month? And how many innings?
16 and 37.
Okay. And again, the ERA 1.2 could have been a little lower. An inherited run came around to score on Keuchel's ledger today. It's been, and obviously we know what happened the rest of 2015, but it has been One of the things people around the league were curious to see is where would Dallas Keuchel be coming into 2017, and the answer in the month of April is look out.
Yeah.
Look out. Pitches a strike to Marwin Gonzalez, 0-1. Keuchel will start again in Anaheim when the Astros head out on their shortened road trip. It'll be a shortened road trip followed by a shortened homestand. A 3-game road trip followed by a 2-game homestand.
Go ahead and make sense of that for me, would you?
Sorry, I can't, even on a kid's Sunday. Trying to explain the game to the kids, and I can't explain it. 1-1.
Some anomalies in those schedules, and that's definitely one of them.
Astros will finally have their first off day of the year at home, and that'll come after that 3-game series in Anaheim. They'll have off on Monday, a week from tomorrow, and then a 2-game set with Atlanta. First things first, this game, and then the Rangers come in town tomorrow. One pitch, good take by Gonzalez, 2-1. Marwin looking for his first hit today, 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs and a strikeout. Foul, it's 2-2. Astros trying to win a series today against the A's and try to improve to 12-4 against the AL West. They have done very well within their division in the first month of the season. Only 2 series the Astros have lost this year to the AL Central, losing 2 out of 3 at home to Kansas City, and tough series up in Cleveland. Great series back and forth, losing 2 out of 3 to the Indians. Stays 2-2. Leadoff hit by Correa, followed by a walk to Brian McCann. Now 2 outs and 2 on. Gets away. Correa to third, McCann to second, and a full count to Marwin Gonzalez. Montas with an extended inning, about to make his 25th pitch of the inning. Foul into the crowd. Oh, didn't miss a 2 RBI base hit by much.
There's a rocket. It's a little too quick.
fly ball deep to right field, down the line. It is a home run off the foul pole. 3-run home run for Marwin Gonzalez. And a 4-1 lead becomes a 7-1 lead here in the bottom of the 8th.
It's a pretty good adjustment. Got the fastball earlier, got too quick. This one, another fastball in a similar spot. Sees it good, waits on it, barrels it up, and then the patience to stand there and just watch this majestic fly ball hit off the foul pole. Marwin Gonzalez.
Aoki fouled one off his foot. They made the play at first, but Aoki.
Good swing by Marwin Gonzalez. And you see what he was watching to see if that thing would stay fair. It did, right off the foul pole.
I guess he knew that either that ball is going to be gone or it's foul. There's no reason to hurry out of the box.
Yeah, you don't want to stress yourself out too much. Enjoy it.
Bob Melvin's trying to claim that wasn't a foul ball.
Yeah, he's hot.
Melvin's watched his team recently lose 5 of the last 6 games, even with the win last night. They have not scored a lot of runs during that stretch.
Well, they hadn't been getting pounded on by the Houston Astros too in recent days.
And the umpires are going to have a little conference here. Does Aoki hit his foot here?
I didn't think he did. I thought he just got completely blown up, and apparently he did. I think that ball may have hit in between his hands on the bat. It got so far in his kitchen.
How about how that ball had spin, so it started foul and then ended up easily in fair territory? That should be a ground out to end the inning if they confirm and get it right.
You know, that pitch cleaned out his cover.
He's out. Okay, they got it right, unfortunately for the Astros. 7-1 game, though, on a 3-run home run by Marwin Gonzalez. And we're going to head to the 9th with the Astros looking to close this one out.
Pull it down that left field line, bringing George Springer around to score. Put the Astros up 1-0, and then it was Evan Gattis putting his rear end in the dugout, the barrel on the baseball, driving in a run right there off the wall. Brian McCann benefited from a bad hop, getting past the first baseman Ryan Healy, led to 2 RBIs. And then the big swing of the day came off the bat of Marwin Gonzalez, lofting a fly ball high off that foul pole down the right field line for a 3-run jack.
Don't look now, but Marwin's got 5 home runs and a dozen RBIs on the year.
Beautiful.
Guy who has not had a chance to play every day. Only 53 at bats, 54 at bats now on the season for Marwin. As we head to the 9th, new pitcher Brad Peacock. Peacock has been brilliant this year with a 0 ERA, only allowed 2 hits in 34 at bats. He's going to try and keep this game where it is, a 7-1 Astros lead. Delivers a strike on the outside corner to Jed Lowry.
Peacock bouncing back from last night. He threw 23 pitches in that inning last night. Gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 punch outs.
It's a good sign. Good sign to go 23 plus today. Right back at him. And throwing strikes as he has all season long ahead of Lowry, 0-2. 7-1 Astros, 3 runs batted in for Marwin, 2 runs batted in for Brian McCann, a run batted in for Evan Gattis, run batted in for Carlos Correa. We have ourselves a good RBI race right now for the team lead. For a while, it was all George Springer's. Springer's been right around 13, 14 now for a while. He has 14. Evan Gattis has 14. Brian McCann has 13. Marwin has 12.
Talked about it in the open. Guys up and down the lineup getting opportunities, and they're taking advantage of it.
Pitch from Peacock misses, 2-2. Astros trying to close this one out before a 4-game series against the Texas Rangers. A win today would improve Houston to 4-1 against the A's this year. Also give them 11 out of 12 against Oakland going back to last year. Now the count's 3-2. A's continue on this road trip. They were swept the first 3 games of this trip, losing all 3 games to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. After today, they'll have an off day tomorrow before 3 with the Minnesota Twins. Swing and a miss. Brad Peacock gets the tough Jed Lowry to start the 9th inning. Strikeout. Coming up after the game, it's our Astros post-game show. Kevin Eschenfelder and Mike Stanton will be the host as they will talk about Dallas Keuchel. I think we've seen that headline. He dominates. Yeah, he's done it again. Marwin Gonzalez
provides the chicken after hitting the Chick-fil-A foul pole.
And then reaction from the Astros clubhouse from Brett Dolan as he gathers interviews. Marwin, a home run every 10.8 at-bats in his career. Or excuse me, this season.
I was going to say his career.
10.8 at-bats. This year, if he qualified, he'd be behind only Aaron Judge and Chris Davis. He doesn't have enough at-bats to qualify, but that's pretty good. Slider, call a strike. That's been a good pitch for Peacock this year.
Yeah, that slider's been real nice. We've had a chance to watch him try and develop it over the last couple of years, but this has really been the year where he has locked that thing down and been effective with it. And he's another guy. We talk about Keuchel being healthy, Lance McCullers being healthy. This is a guy right here, Brad Peacock, who has benefited from being healthy.
Tried to hold up 1 and 2. Well, all the headlines, pitching-wise, rightfully so for the Astros, will go to Dallas Keuchel and even Chris Davinsky, despite the fact that Lindor got him on that one swing in Cleveland. And rightfully so. But this guy deserves some accolades for the month of April he's having.
Well, he's sneaking under the radar because nobody anticipated it.
1-2 pitch deep to left field. Aoki all the way back, looks up, and it's off the wall. Nori will play it back in as Fegley has his second double of the series. He hits one off the wall and left. That wind may have fooled Nori a little bit, because it looked like he was going back and then decided to peel off, and the ball hit a little lower on the wall than maybe he anticipated.
Yeah, it's tough to judge, and I agree with you. The wind. It was a pretty good pitch inside from Brad Peacock, but here again at Minute Maid Park, that Crawford box comes into play. You can see Giddets in on the label of Fegley right there, but has enough to muscle it out there, and just ends up to where Aoki's out there chasing it around.
Runner on second, 1 out. Chad Pinder, the batter. Pinder 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts. Pitch gets away, but not far enough for Fegley to advance. Dallas Keuchel had a season-high 9 strikeouts this afternoon. On the line to right, sends Reddick back. He'll watch it go over his head and off the wall. Reddick will play it back into second. Fegley will score. Ball skips away, but no advancement for Pinder. And the A's have their second run of the game. Chad Pinder with an RBI single. And it's now 7-2. Brad Peacock, for the first time this year, gives up a run. The 3rd and 4th hits allowed of the season for Peacock. Matt Joyce takes a pitch away for a ball, 1-0. Joyce has one of the 3 hits allowed or had one of the 3 hits allowed on the day by Keuchel. Athletics now up to 6 hits. 2-0 the count. Only 13 relief appearances for Brad Peacock coming into this season, so learning a new role here. Working back-to-back games. He did it back on April 7th and April 8th. But it's still something you have to adjust to, especially if you've been used to being a starter your whole career.
Routine changes a little bit. But a valuable guy out of the bullpen that can eat up some innings.
Trying to get through the 9th here. 2-2 pitch to Joyce, gets away. That'll allow Pinder to go to second. Go with a wild pitch. Pitches yesterday. Peacock up to 18 today. The one thing you don't want to see if you're A.J. Hinch is a inning get extended here where you have to get another arm loose in the bullpen in a 7-2 game. In the air center field, pretty well hit, but Springer has it lined up. George is there for out number 2, tagging and headed to third is Chad Pinder. And the Astros 1 out away from a series victory. Pinch hitter for Oakland. Bob Melvin will call on Jeff Decker to pinch hit for Ryan Lamar. Friday night, 28,472. Yesterday, 32,147. So 60,500 coming into today. Crowd of 34,880 today. So over 95,000 in attendance for the weekend.
It's a good weekend to be in here. We had Friday night fireworks. Alex Bregman. Jersey night last night. Now you got Dallas Keuchel's corner. And he went out there and dealt. Potential series win. Brad Peacock gets through us.
You got a team that's on the cusp of being 16-9. And you've got the rivals, the Texas Rangers, coming into town. Peacock down to the count 3-0 to Jeff Decker.
Finish up April in fashion and then bring in your state rival.
4-pitch walk.
There might be a little bit of fatigue at Brad Peacock right now. I think Brian McCann is going out there right now. Give him a little bit of a breather and say, Brent Strom, the pitching coach, also is going to be coming out to have a similar conversation. But it's basically going to consist of take a deep breath, relax. This is your last hitter. Focus on the signs that are being put down and executing the pitch. I know you're tired, but rely on your mechanics to get you through this next AB. Because you can see Brent Strom is talking about downhill, some of the balls missing up and away. Arm side tells you there might be a little bit of a fatigue issue. Trust your stuff. You hear that a lot from pitching coaches. Don't aim the ball. Fire it in there. Commit to the pitch and execute.
Well, he's been perfect coming into today. Basically, no runs allowed, 2 hits. Today's been a little bit of a struggle. A couple of base hits and now a walk. Back to the top of the order for Adam Rosales. Now we do get a little bullpen action. 2 outs in the 9th inning. Rosales takes a pitch away for a ball, 1-0. James Boyd starting to loosen in the Astros bullpen. 2-0. Now going a little restless, looking for that 27th out. There's a strike. Ball 3.
Maybe overcompensating a little bit. Missing up and away and then missing down.
Now Peacock 1 pitch away. The crowd's going to get into this. Start standing. On a Sunday afternoon with the roof opened at Minute Maid Park. Astros leading 7-2. Trying to finish this game out and give Dallas Keuchel his 5th win in the month of April. Up high though, ball 4. 2 hits and 2 walks in the inning, and that'll be the last batter that Brad Peacock faces. He will leave the game here with 2 outs in the 9th inning. We'll tell you about the new right-hander out of the Astros bullpen when we come back. Astros leading by 5, 7-2, but the bases are filled with Athletics. With Yonder Alonso due up, the Astros go to their closer, Ken Giles.
Ken Giles with that power fastball in the upper 90s, also has that wipeout slider when it's going well, has a lot of confidence and faith in it. That's why you see that number against the right-handed hitters at 0.95 with the opponent batting average. That pitch breaking away from them, and Ken Giles last pitched on the 28th. Just made an appearance, keeping that arm fresh through 17 pitches to work through 1 inning against these Oakland Athletics.
A.J. Hinch would say after the game, Giles was pitching in that game regardless. It turned out not to be a safe situation as the Astros extended a 7-4 lead to 9-4 in the bottom half of the 8th inning Friday night. This afternoon, even though it's a 7-2 game, this is a safe situation because the tying run is on deck. The tying runs at the plate or on deck when you come in there to save opportunities. So even though it's a 5-run game, Giles one out away from picking up a save in this one. Facing Yonder Alonso in the air to right field. Josh Reddick comes on. That's a 1-pitch save in a 7-2 victory. A big smile from Ken Giles. He'll be pleased with that effort. And so will Dallas Keuchel, who improves to 5-0 in the month of April as the Astros take 2 out of 3 from the Oakland A's and win this series and improve on the season to 16-9.
Player of the game is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, and everybody knows who it is. It's Dallas Keuchel. Got him some serious run support today, but he didn't really need it. 7 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run. He gave up 2 walks and had 9 punch-outs, which is a season high. Continuing to get better from start to start, has a nice streak going of 7+ innings per start for Dallas Keuchel. That Cy Young form early. Some of those April numbers are pretty impressive now that he is 5-0 with that 1.22 ERA.
ERA doesn't move today with those 7 2/3 innings. The 1 run came in after he left the game, a charge to his ledger. You can see in Astros history, he becomes the 3rd lowest ERA ever in April, and he matches Roger Clemens, the only other pitcher to win 5 games in the first month of the season.
Heck of a start.
Pretty impressive stuff for Dallas Keuchel. Final score today, 7-2 as Keuchel gets the win and Ken Giles comes on to earn the save. We'll have more after this.